Okay guys, so today we are going to learn about unit conversions. Our essential question for the day is, how do you perform unit conversions? So today we're going to look at how do we change units over a variety of ideas. So equivalent units that you should know. First, you should know that 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. And again, if you don't remember these things, make sure to write it down, because when you write something down, you're much more likely to remember it again in the future. So 5,280 feet is 1 mile. You should remember that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. And the abbreviation for pound is LB period. Now, really cool thing, an ounce of water weighs 1 ounce. So that's actually where we get the pound from, is because there are 16 ounces in 1 pint. Since there are 16 ounces in 1 pint, that means that 1 pint weighs 1 pound. So that's kind of cool. You should know that there are 8 ounces in 1 cup. You should know that there are 2,000 pounds. It's equal to 1 ton. You should know that there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. There are 2 pints in 1 quart. So these are some units that you should already know. So today we're going to learn about the fence method. Now, the fence method is a way to organize our unit conversions so that we can clearly make sure that we have accounted for all of our various units. In middle school, when you initially learned about unit conversions, you focused on learning, do I multiply here or do I divide here? And as long as you understood which unit was bigger and which unit was smaller, that was a pretty simple task. If you did not think that was simple, then I really do think that the fence method today will help you very much. So suppose we want to know how many pounds are in a 40-ounce bag of coffee. I like coffee quite a lot, and my most recent purchase was a 40-ounce bag of coffee from Costco. So a 40-ounce bag of coffee is how many pounds? Well, using the fence method, I would start with the fraction 40 ounces over 1. And then I'm going to make a fence. So what do we know about ounces? Exactly, we know that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Now, if I want to get rid of the unit of ounces on the numerator, then I need to put the 16 ounces on the bottom, which means that the 1 pound goes on the top. So then I can cancel out this unit of ounces. So since my goal is to find pounds, I have my unit of pounds in the numerator. So I am ready to simplify this fraction. So 40 times 1 is 40. 1 times 16 is 16. So I have 40 16th pounds, and 40 divided by 16 is 2.5 pounds. So my 40-ounce bag of coffee had 2.5 pounds of coffee. So that's what the fence method looks like. We're going to be using that quite a lot. In this particular example, in middle school, you learned that an ounce was smaller than a pound, and so if you want to change from a small unit to a big unit, you divide, and so 40 divided by 16. But as you see here, that's what we ended up with. So I am not going to be one of those teachers that requires you to use a particular method. However, this is the method that most of your physical science teachers will require you to use. Also, we're going to look at some questions that are a lot more complicated than how many pounds is in 40 ounces. We might ask things like, a dripping faucet drips 43 drips per second. How many swimming pools could you fill in 100 years? And asking yourself which one's smaller, which one's bigger would be quite complicated. So I think the fence method will help you quite a lot. Metric units. So you should remember that the main unit of measurement for volume is liters. So 1 liter of water. The unit of mass is grams. And the unit of length is meters. And then you probably learned a variety of acronyms to help you remember how to move the decimal when you're dealing with metric units. So when I taught 8th grade, I taught King Henry, he's the school mouse. He died under the Diet Coke machine in the teacher's lounge. So if I wanted to know something like 466 liters is how many hectoliters? Well, in that case, my base unit is liters. So our base unit applies to liters, grams, and meters. So I would move the decimal back 2 places, and that would get 4.66 hectoliters. Now, as I said, you are more than welcome to continue using that strategy. Here's how I would do that same question using the fence method. 466 liters over 1. Now, we see that our base unit of liters is 2 decimal places away from hectoliters. So that means that 1 hectoliter equals 100 liters. So I want to cancel out a unit of liters, so the 100 liters goes on the bottom with the 1 hectoliter on top. And then we can cancel out those unit of liters, which gives us 466 divided by 100 hectoliters, also known as 4.66 hectoliters. Okay, so again, you're welcome to do it using the traditional acronym, or you are welcome to use the fence method when converting metric units. So let's take a look at an example of how we could use this in practice. Mr. Singletary drinks about 3 cups of coffee per day. About how many cups does he drink per year? So we want to think about what information are we given. Let's see, 3 cups. Three cups per day. Now the word per means divide. So I can actually write this as 3 cups divided by 1 day. So 3 cups per day. Now, how many cups does he drink per year? So we're looking for cups per year. So our goal is to get cups on the bottom, cups on the top of our fraction, and we already have that. And then years on the bottom. Well, currently, I have days on the bottom, so that tells me that I need to change days to years. So how many days are in a year? About 365. So 365 days and 1 year. And again, I needed to put days on the top because I was trying to cancel out the days on the top with the days on the bottom. So now I have cups per year. So now we just simply multiply. So 3 times 365 gives us a numerator product of 1095. Now for our denominator, the down low part of our fraction, 1 times 1 is 1. So 1095 divided by 1. So 1095 cups per 1 year. Okay. So let's try another one. Mr. Singletary's Honda Accord weighs about 1,463 kilograms. How many grams is that? Well, if we think back to our mnemonic device, King Henry died under the Diet Coke machine. We're looking for kilograms, so that would be this decimal. And then grams is our base unit. So this is 1, 2, 3 decimal places away. That means that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So that's going to be very useful in solving this question. So we'll start with our 1,463 kilograms in our numerator. Since we don't have anything to put in the denominator, we can put 1 as a placeholder. So why can we actually put 1 as a placeholder in a fraction? Well, what happens if I divide it by 1? Exactly, I get the same thing. So that's why we can use 1 as a placeholder in the bottom part of our fraction. Now, 1,000 grams and 1 kilogram. So I have kilograms on the top. So where do I need to put this 1 kilogram? Exactly, on the bottom, because I want to be able to cancel out those units of kilogram. And that leaves us with 1,000 grams in the numerator. So cancel out those kilograms. So my goal is to figure out how many grams is that. So now notice that grams is in the numerator of our fraction. So now we're ready to work it out. So let's multiply. Oh, that was surprising. My bad. So 1,463 times 1,000. That's 1,463,000 grams over 1. And there we have it. My Honda Accord weighs about 1,463,000 grams. Let's look at another example. Mr. Singletary loves to run. I do love to run. In fact, there is a tracking website where you log your runs. It's called runeveryday.com. I actually made it 900 days without missing a day of running. I ran at least 1 mile every single day for 900 days. I don't do that anymore, but I do still run about 26 kilometers per week. So if I run about 26 kilometers per week, how many miles do I run per year? Okay, so let's set up our fraction to get started. So 26 kilometers each week. So that means that I can start with a fraction 26 kilometers per 1 week. Now, my goal is to find the number of miles per year. So I need to change kilometers to miles so that I get miles on the top, and I need to change week to years. Now you're not expected to know this, but there are 0.624 miles in 1 kilometer. That is an example of a unit conversion that you would be given, so you would not need to memorize that one. Okay, So let's get rid of kilometers first. So 26 kilometers is on the top. So I need to put the 1 kilometer on the bottom and the 0.624 miles on the top. So now if I stop working right there, I have miles on the top and weeks on the bottom. So that answer would give you the number of miles per week. But we're not looking for miles per week. We're looking for miles per year. So we need to change weeks to years. So how many weeks are in a year? About 52. 52 weeks in 1 year. So then we could cancel out the unit of weeks. And so again, now I have miles in the numerator, years in the denominator. So now I'm ready to answer the question, how many miles does he run per year? So we can just multiply everything out and simplify. So 26 times 0.624 times 52, that's 843.648 divided by the easy product, 1 times 1 times 1, it's 1. So Mr. Singletary runs about 843.65 miles per year. That is true. I run between 700 and 1,000 miles per year, depending on how busy the years get. Okay, so you try this one. 565,900 seconds is how many days? Okay, so now that you've tried that one, let's take a look at the solution. So we're going to start with 565,900 seconds over 1. Now, what do we know about seconds? Exactly, we know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So if we stop right there, our answer is in minutes, but we need our answer to be in days. Okay, what do we know about a minute? Exactly, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So now we have hours. So what do we know about hours? There are 24 hours in 1 day. Okay, so now that we have days in the numerator, we are ready to work this out. So 565,900 times 1 times 1 times 1, 565,900 divided by 1 times 60 is 60 times 60 is 3,600. 3,600 times 24 using our calculator is 86,400. So now when we divide that, we have 565,900 divided by 86,400, and we get 6.55 days. All right, you try this one. 1 meter is about 3.28 feet. 2,678 centimeters is how many feet? Okay, now that you've had a chance to try it for yourself, let's work out the solution. So 2,678 centimeters over 1 is a placeholder. Now, what does the prefix centi actually mean? Well, how many years are in a century? 100. Exactly, they come from the same place. So there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So centimeters is on the top, so we'll put 100 centimeters on the bottom. So that puts our answer currently in meters. We need to know how many feet. So we know that 1 meter is 3.28 feet. Since I want to cancel out meters on the top, I need to put meters on the bottom. So that gives me feet on the top and nothing on the bottom, so my answer is in feet. So we're ready to work it out. So 2,678 times 1 times 3.28 is 8,783.84. Pretty cool looking number. Divided by 1 times 100 times 1, so that's 100. So that gives us 87.84 feet. Pretty awesome. All right, so I think this is a great opportunity for me to let you get some practice. So we'll do that now.